Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we are going to be completing the series of karmic life path numbers. So today we're going to be looking at the life path number 19-1. So again, this would be life path 1 with the influencing energies of the 19. I'm going to go into detail, of course, what all this means, what to look for, etc., etc. But do keep in mind that this is a general overview. So if you want to dive more deeply into this energy, find out more about your actual numerology report and the assisting energies that are helping you to move through this karmic life path, then of course book some time with me. I would love to work with you and dive a little bit more deeply. Now, if you are not sure, now let's say that you're a life path 1, but you're not sure if you have the influencing energy of the 19, because the 19 is what brings in this karmic influence and that brings in all of these sort of extra challenges that you'll be moving through on your journey until you master them and extract the wisdom and all that good stuff. So if you're not sure if you have the 19 influence, then go ahead and you can leave your full birthday information in the description box or the comment section below. And this, of course, is for my YouTube followers. For those of you who are following on my podcast, if you want me to check your numbers, then please hop on over to my YouTube, find the video, and just comment in the comment section, and I'll be happy to investigate that for you. So there are several calculations that we use in numerology when we're doing a reading, and so I would go through those calculations for your birthday information to see if somewhere within those calculations is hidden that 19 energy, because it is going to be a dominating influence in your journey for sure. This is non-negotiable energy that you will have to move through before you can step into your life path and before you can sort of manage this energy and do something really good with it. So again, if you're interested in knowing if you have this influencing energy, please leave your day, month, year in the description box or the comment section below on my YouTube channel, and I will happily look into that at my earliest convenience. Remember, I'm not on here all the time, so it may take me a few days. If you do not get a response, please leave it again, and I'll be happy. I'll check it as soon as I can, and I'll let you know if you have if this video is for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into it because there's a lot to sort of cover here. So I want to talk about, first and foremost, what karmic energy means. So in the world of numerology, there's a couple ways that we look at it. So one is that if you've got karmic debt, especially in a life path number, typically this is going to mean that in a past life, you might have achieved this energy or mastered the energy of the 1, but you didn't do such great things with it. And so in this lifetime, it becomes a journey of atonement where you are meant to move through the challenges of this 1 energy, sort of learn from past mistakes and do something really good with this energy in this lifetime. And so it becomes a little bit different than if you only had the 1 as your life path number. So because of this 19, it brings in sort of this intensity that you're meant to move through that is preparing you to be able to do something great with this energy in this lifetime. The other way we look at it is that your soul likely attempted to master the 1 energy in a past life, but for some reason, whether it was through free will or your own decisions or some outside influence or outside force, you were unable to master that energy and do anything with it, right? And so in this lifetime, your soul is very determined to make that happen, to achieve not only stepping into the 1 energy, but now mastering and doing something great with the 19 energy. So again, just to kind of give an idea, the 1 is your life path number. That is the energy that you will be stepping into in this lifetime. The 19 tells us sort of the path that your soul needs to take in order to step into that 1 energy, in order to achieve that 1 energy and to do something with it, right? So for you all, the path is an interesting one. Now, when it comes to karmic energy, anytime someone has karmic energy in their life path, this is always an indication that this is going to be a testing lifetime. There's going to be tests, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be tremendous obstacles to overcome. And I don't say anything that I say in this reading to scare you or to throw you into victim mentality or any of those things. If anything, my goal is to let you know the reality of what this life path can bring, but then also hopefully give you encouragement and sort of be your greatest cheerleader to let you know that you signed up for this for a reason, and it's because your soul knows you're capable of overcoming these obstacles and truly doing something great in the world once you extract all the wisdom that's meant to be extracted through this journey. So this is a big lifetime. This is similar to the way I look at karmic life path numbers is I see them similar as the master numbers. Just a different trajectory, right? So with master numbers, the way I see it is master numbers, it's negotiable. The individual will step into their core life path number. So let's use 11-2 as an example. They will step into that 2 energy. Whether they step into the master number of the 11 is basically negotiable. They get to decide that. They get to decide what they do with that energy. If they choose it to be too difficult, then they can sort of choose not to step into it, right? And just stay within the 2 energy. When we have karmic energy, what happens is it becomes non-negotiable. So you all do not have you have the free will in how you're going to move through it, but if you choose to not move through it, the challenges just keep intensifying, right? So that's what I mean by non-negotiable. It's not like you always have free will, of course, but as you face the challenges that come up with this energy and overcome it and extract the wisdom and then do something good with it, the pressure, the intensity diminishes, right? It becomes manageable. If you choose to not work with this energy, not master it, not do something good with it, then you'll just continue to get fed those challenges, right? So you really are in the driver's seat. You really do have free will, but it's non-negotiable in the sense that you're basically choosing, do I want a lifetime of just incredible challenges and continue to avoid facing whatever I need to face, overcoming what I need to overcome? Or do I want to just face this head on and deal with it and, get myself out of these challenges, maximize this journey and do something great with what I've learned through that journey. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by negotiable and non-negotiable. But both the master energy and the karmic energy, I see as really the soul setting them up for, I don't want to say like greatness, but really to do great things in this lifetime. And it doesn't mean that it's better than or less than any of the other life path numbers. If anything, the karmic energy brings in even more challenges and requires more effort than any of the other life path numbers. So it's definitely not a cakewalk, but it's definitely preparation to do something phenomenal with this energy. So let's first talk about the 1 energy, right? Because again, your life path number is the 1. So with 1 energy, this is leadership energy. This is about self. This is about self-identity, about independence, about being self-driven, ambitious, assertive, again, being a leader, being a visionary and blazing the trail, coming up with ideas and working towards those ideas to manifest something in the physical that has the potential to be a great resource. But usually it has to be something that is unique to you and your own genius, right? Your own ingenuity and your own vision. And so when you step into the 1 energy, there's something that you are meant to be doing, something that you are meant to achieve in this lifetime that sets you apart, that's different, that's, again, uniquely yours, and that's often ahead of its time. where the world sort of needs to catch up to you type thing, or your ideas. And so it can feel like a very isolating energy sometimes. It can feel like, again, you're very independent. You're, people aren't always going to understand what it is that you're trying to do, that sort of thing. But it is sort of the inventor type of energy in this lifetime. So it is about coming up with, like, seeing where the problem lies and coming up with a solution and then inventing that solution as a resource. So it's a big lifetime just in that sense alone. Now, with the 19, this energy is going to be just as dominant as the 1. Right? So because again, it's telling us the path that you're going to be walking down in order to achieve this 1 energy. So it tells us like sort of what you need to experience in order to fully step into your 1 energy. But the 19 never really goes away. Again, you will manage it, you'll master it and then manage it. And you'll extract the wisdom from it. But it doesn't really go away. So you kind of have to stay on your toes in this lifetime. So with the 19, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you can expect with this energy. And again, remember, this is a general overview. If it doesn't resonate for you, that's okay. If it does, great. And again, if you want to go in deeper into your own personal numbers, I'm happy to do that with you. Just book some time with me. Okay, so the 19. When we have this 19 energy or this karmic balancing energy, this is a life path of regeneration. So think of like endless beginnings. So in order to have a new beginning, that means that there has to be an ending, right? And so this lifetime will often be for the individual just a constant cycle of new beginnings and endings, new beginnings and endings, new beginnings and endings. So what this does is it helps to teach the individual that everything is transient and attachment is futile. Now, before we get into, more about this, I want to be very clear. This doesn't mean that you can't have healthy long-term relationships or stability or structure within your life. That's not what we're saying. It's more that this is a lifetime to understand that there has to be constant regeneration. There has to be constant rebirth, right? It's like death, transformation, rebirth on sort of speed dial. But it's really about those new beginnings, or sort of evolving in a way that you're incorporating new beginnings into your existing foundation, right? So you can have all the good things in life. That's not what I'm saying. It's more about there will be many beginnings and endings, whether it's within a relationship or within a career or within your journey. There will be an endless flow of endings and new beginnings. Again, to show that everything is transient and that we can't attach to something because we truly do not own anything. Because again, you've got this energy of the 9 present, and the 9 is a very sort of elevated energy. It's a highly conscious energy. It's very spiritual. It's very much sort of much embodies life. Like everything in life is transient. We're born with nothing, we leave with nothing. And so what enters our life, we are meant to enjoy and learn from and then release. And then something new comes in and repeat. And so this is really a lifetime where it's like if you attach to something, or if you use whatever this is solely for self-serving purposes, you will very likely see whatever that is fall away. And that becomes sort of a very sort of prominent feature in this journey is what you attach to. Like where you feel like I can't live without this, or I can't live without this person, or I have to control, or I'm gripping really tightly onto whatever this is. Chances are with a 19-1, you will see it fall away. It's only when you release and let whatever that is be free to do its own thing. If it chooses to stay, beautiful. If it needs to leave, beautiful. It's only then that you can truly enjoy the experience with whatever or whoever that is. But when you cling to it, especially as a 19-1, you will likely probably pretty quickly see that start to fall away, or you'll face incredible challenges around that. So there can be many obstacles faced on this journey that can feel really faith-breaking. And just because of that. It's not easy for humans to constantly have to regenerate and release and, surrender to what is coming in next type thing. This, humans often like, especially with an ego, we often like to feel safe and secure and confident that we know what's around the corner type thing. And sometimes with 19-1 energy, it can feel like you just can't get your footing. Well, I don't want to say that, because you can have stability and structure and all those things. But it's more or less when you attach to something or you cling to something or something becomes so stagnant or mundane that it's no longer serving anything, or not serving you, not serving others type thing, is when you'll see that fall away and it will need to regenerate. And that can be faith breaking at times, because it can feel like things are constantly being removed from your life, whether it's friends or relationships or career or money or whatever. And so it can be really easy, really for anyone who's got a karmic life path number, but to fall into that like self-pity or victim mentality, that can feel easier, to sort of stay stuck in that rather than facing the challenges, overcoming them, extracting the wisdom, and then sort of using that wisdom to uplift, empower, inspire yourself and others in some way, right? And so I will say with karmic energy, and I will also say I also have karmic level energy in my life path. I'm a 13-4. So I am on this ride right there with you, just a different path. But it can be really easy because the challenges seem to be sort of relentless, right? It's almost like you get up and then the universe punches you back down, and then you get up and the universe punches you back down. And you're like, I need a break. And the universe is like, you're not getting a break. You need to create your own break. And so it can be easy to fall into victim mentality, self-pity, the world is out to get me, nothing ever works out, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll tell you that is only going to intensify the challenges. You have the strength to overcome those challenges and move beyond whatever it is that you are stuck in, to move into the light, okay? And move into something more freeing. And that becomes your choice in this journey. Am I going to stay in victim mentality and continue to sort of go in circles, or am I going to pick up the pieces and find my way out of this? And you will. If you put your mind to it, if you put your heart into it, you will, because that's a big part of this journey, is to show you what you're capable of. Because after all these challenges and extracting all this wisdom, you're meant to do something great with all of that wisdom that you've extracted. So keep going. This is a life path. The 19-1 is a life path of leadership and tremendous vitality and intellect, which allows the individual to overcome the many obstacles that they're faced with. However, in order to do this, you must see any past sort of mistakes, failures, or errors, or perceived mistakes, failures, or errors as an opportunity for, guess what, regeneration, and to try again in a more elevated way. This will often assure future success. Okay, so if you get stuck in, like if something doesn't work out and you get stuck there, and you're like, well, I'm a failure, I can't do this, etc., and nothing ever works out, then nothing is going to work out. So you have to take those perceived failures or mistakes or errors and see it as an opportunity to try something new, something different, to regenerate. And in doing that, in a more elevated way, you are pretty much ensuring that you will have some level of success there. And that becomes part of the journey. So you're essentially taking the old and turning it into something new, releasing what didn't work and build off from what did, with more aligned behaviors and healthier patterns, right? Not getting stuck in self-defeating thought processes or patterns. And finding your courage and your confidence along the way to continue to take the risks and lead with faith in self, others, and the universe. So again, courage and confidence are also going to be big themes for the 19-1. They're also big themes for anybody with a life path of 1. to find that courage, to be the leader, to overcome self-doubt, etc., etc. That becomes intensified when you have the 19, because again, remember, there's a lot of regeneration, so a lot is falling away, and it would be really easy for the individual to see what's falling away as a failure. And it's not a failure. It's just simply saying, this doesn't belong to you. It's served its purpose. It's time to go. Something new is coming in. And if you get stuck in that, okay, well, whatever fell away is because of me, and I'm not good enough, and I don't deserve this, and blah, 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 then you're not overcoming the obstacle. You're staying stuck within it. And so again, courage, confidence, overcoming self-defeating thought patterns, self-doubt is going to serve you. And life will present you with what you need in order to step into that, but you're the one that has to step into it. And so, again, it's not for the faint of heart, but you all can do it because your soul knows you can do it because you signed up for this energy in this lifetime. So as I mentioned, with this energy, it's regenerative, right? So the wisdom of the experiences is extracted through overcoming the challenges associated with having many twists and many turns in life that sort of require you to release and start again, release and start again, which, can become overwhelming at times, but again, you can do it. It's a lifetime of constant reminders that everything is transient and we own nothing. So where most people will get those lessons sort of sprinkled throughout their journey, the 19-1 is sort of confronted with that on a constant basis. So we receive, we enjoy, and or learn the lessons or achieve the wisdom, and then we release when it's time for the next tide to come in, washing away what no longer serves and brings in the new experiences. And eventually the 19-1, if you're doing the work and you're showing up and you're putting in the effort, will sort of get used to this. Not in a way where it's still not, inconvenient, but in a way where you start to understand the wisdom behind it, the greater wisdom behind it, the divinity behind it. So people with 19-1 energy especially will face difficult challenges when they become codependent or overly attached to something or someone. So the journey becomes one of sort of catch and release, sort of while again, taking that wisdom, learning to share that wisdom, using your own ingenuity and your own vision, and sharing that with the world in some way. The 19-1 at its core, again, is a one life path. So one by its nature is more focused on, again, self-independence, ingenuity, impulsivity, assertiveness, and leadership. So the 19-1 needs to be careful not to become too independent and overly self-serving, because typically for one energy, it can be really easy to be more focused on self, or at least that's the journey, right? To become all those things we talked about with one energy. That is the journey. But the 19, there's that little twist because you've got the 9 there. So it becomes one where, yes, you were meant to use your independence, but there's also interdependency. I'm going to talk about that. So, codependency is a no. But interdependency is a big yes in this lifetime for you all. Recognizing your own limitations and then asking for help when needed and receiving that help will serve you well and will lift the burden, right? So again, it can be really easy, especially with a life path of 1 and strong 1 energy, to sort of feel like I have to do it all by myself. I have to carry this burden. I have to, nobody understands, et cetera, et cetera. And because there's that 9 energy, and even with the 1 energy, there is, interdependence is important. But with this 19, interdependence is very important because you've got the energy of the 1, which is self, and the 9, which is all. So collaboration, working with others to come up with needed solutions and resources can be a game changer, as opposed to assuming that you have all the answers, that it's your way or the highway. Those kind of things will not serve you in this lifetime. You have to follow your own vision and your own genius, but you have to collaborate, work with others, ask for help when you need it, recognize your limitations, receive that help openly. It just becomes an interesting dance between the self and the all, and that, again, that interdependency. But in this lifetime, you're being prepared to share your greater visions, your unique contributions, and doing so in a way that contributes to the betterment of the all, which again brings in that energy of the 9. So in this lifetime, again, with that 19, you're seeking to uplift, empower, inspire others through your unique genius and gifts. And then sort of meeting in the middle between the me and the we, or the self and the all, which can feel like at times a little bit of tug and war, or internal tug of war, right? Like finding your place in the world, but then also making sure that you're taking others into consideration and working towards a bigger purpose, something bigger than self, for the greater good. So it can become, finding your way to that center point can be a little bit of a challenge when this is your life path energy. Now, of course, it also depends what else is in your chart, because you may have 9s all throughout your chart, which can make it a little bit less burdensome, so to speak. But it just depends on a lot of factors. But from this standpoint, just strictly looking at the life path number, it can be a little bit of a dance until you figure out the steps, right? It can be a little bit of an awkward dance until you figure out the steps. So with the nature of the 19-1 energy, the individual has to learn to work with their emotions rather than have their emotions run the show. So it's interesting because, we don't usually think of 9 or 1 energy as being highly emotive. Of course, all humans are, but there are numbers that are more sensitive, more highly emotive. But the 19 is interesting because it is a very emotive energy. It is very emotional. And so, and especially with all of this sort of twists and turns in this journey, it can bring up those emotions, right? So your job is to learn to work with your emotions rather than have your emotions run the show. So with what can feel like ongoing upheavals in life, with this constant regeneration, you have to learn to sort of steady the emotional side of yourself amidst the storm, so that any uncontrolled reactions or uncontrolled emotional outbursts don't create more upheaval in your life, right? So if you've got like this constant regeneration going on, and then you're not emotionally mature, like you haven't gotten to that point where you're able to work with and channel those emotions into something productive or positive, you can see those emotions have a direct impact on the relationships in your life, your job, et cetera, et cetera. So again, it becomes learning to work with your emotions, using them to create rather than destroy. And then you will have a tremendous amount of power behind you, which is your own generated power, because it's your emotions, which is basically charged energy. So it's what we do with that makes the difference. But given sort of the journey of the 19-1, it can be emotionally taxing. So this is a journey of also, again, regulating your emotions, managing them, making sure that you're using that charged energy for something good and not destructive. So as mentioned, the journey of the 19-1 is to extract as much wisdom in this lifetime as possible, to be able to share that wisdom with others in a way that serves a greater purpose. Not serving self, although you can obviously benefit from that, of course, but it really does seek to uplift, empower, inspire all, like to really have a sense of a greater purpose and contribute to that greater purpose with the all in mind, which you are, essentially a part of as well. We're all a part of the universal circle, right? So our actions contribute to the well-being of that universal circle. But your focus in this lifetime is to use your own unique vision, genius, ingenuity to create or do something, take action in a way that serves a greater good or serves the greater good. So with this life path, be mindful not to create a false image of yourself, right? And what I mean by that is you could create this image of yourself as one type of personality, as, this, I don't know, this holier than thou, I don't know, right? Whatever it is that a false image, let's just put it that way. If you create a false image of yourself while actually living out a secret life of falsity or deceit, then, basically, our actions in our life show our level of consciousness. I'm going to say that again. Our actions in life show our level of consciousness. So deceitful actions by a 19-1 can very quickly lead to a quick fall. And I mean that sort of figuratively, right? But it's like you could see things kind of boomerang back to you real quick. And that's to sort of snap you out of it, to bring you back to a place of integrity, to a place of the higher octave of this energy, which is not easy to get to, right? That's why there's so many challenges associated with this. But anytime that you are moving from a place that lacks integrity or is deceitful or, seeks to do harm to others or seeks to get ahead by the means of stepping on others, manipulation, control, etc., you will see as a 19-1 that come back to you very, very quickly. This kind of life path energy, this karmic life path energy, doesn't wait until the next lifetime to sort of serve it up. It comes back pretty quickly, right? So just be very mindful of that this is a lifetime of, again, stepping into that one energy, but doing it from a very sort of humanitarian type of space, okay? Because the 9 is the humanitarian, and that's a very strong influence in your life path number. With this life path, your courage will be tested, and it'll be tested often. So what I mean by that is basically you need to learn to be, independent and interdependent. And so it might be more comfortable for you. I mean, it depends, right? Because again, it depends on what's in your chart. But as a life path 1, you're meant to learn independence in this lifetime, where you're going to follow your vision and go after your goals, even if people don't understand it. Because again, you are the visionary. But again, because of that 9, this is a big lifetime of interdependency. So again, finding your sort of place between those energies is, going to be unique for you. And you'll figure that out as you move through your journey. Also, again, as I mentioned before, a big goal of this journey as a karmic life path is to refrain from self-pity or getting stuck in victimization, right? And again, I would say that for any of the karmic life path numbers, because I would say of all of the life path numbers, the karmic energies are the ones that it's the easiest, I would say. It's the path of least resistance to fall into victim mode because it's just, again, it can seem sort of relentless. But that's part of the journey, is to overcome that and move from that place of victimization into a place of empowerment. And every time you start moving back into victimization or self-pity, you're going to get hit with more challenges to move out of it, to become, find your voice, find your power from within. And I would say, as a reminder, not to sound cheesy or cliche, but it truly is darkest before the dawn. And by moving forward with an open heart, with courage, with faith and effort, you can absolutely overcome anything that gets thrown your way. And I can say that because you're listening to this right now. And I know as a 19-1 that you have faced a tremendous amount of obstacles up to this point. And here you are. So you're more than capable of overcoming it. Will it be easy? No. But once you overcome it, then the next time you're faced with an identical challenge, you will be able to overcome it more easily because you already have the tools, you already have the wisdom. And then you can do something beautiful with those tools and that wisdom. So I know that you can handle anything that's thrown your way. Your job is to just continue to show up, keep putting in the effort, keep, making it happen. And eventually you will be rewarded for those efforts. And a big part of that comes from what you do with all of this wisdom and this beauty that you sort of achieved through this journey. Remember, the greatest challenges in life unlock the greatest wisdom, and wisdom is your golden goose that you can use to help others with. So it's kind of like, again, if you take that golden goose and you're only going to use it for your self-serving purposes, that golden goose will fall away, or it will die, or something's going to happen. I'm thinking of like Jack and the Beanstalk, right? Something will happen where that golden goose is taken away. So it really is like your mantra in this lifetime is, how can I be of service? How can I be of service? How can I use my own ingenuity, my own wisdom, my own greater visions to be of service to something bigger than myself, to the greater good? And that is your golden goose. And when you do that, you will see the rewards of that, and you will see life start to flow and things start to move more gently. But that's the key. It's a very sort of elevated energy to step into, and it's not the easiest to step into. But you have to sort of come out of the darkness to let your light shine. So you have to keep finding ways to do just that. So again, you can stay in the darkness, in the victim mode, in the self-pity, but you're not going to be able to shine, right? You're not going to be able to fulfill the energy that you signed up to fulfill in this lifetime. So you have to keep finding your way out of the darkness to shine that light. And every time you do that, that light is going to get brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And eventually, the darkness can come, but you won't even notice it's there because you're shining so brightly, right? I will also say, because I think it's important to mention this, oftentimes those with master level energy, 11, 22, 33, 44, or karmic level energy, see the rewards of the efforts of overcoming the challenges, of really stepping into this energy later in life. So 40s, 50s, and beyond. And that's not to discourage you if you're, early on in your journey. It's more to say, when the rewards come in, you can absolutely look back over the journey and recognize exactly why you had to go through what you went through. And it will become very clear what you're meant to do with all of that wisdom. And it becomes well worth the journey that you've been through. So again, because of the strong ones in the life path and the influencing energy of the 19, this can also be a very impulsive energy because you've got the 1, obviously life path 1, and then you've got the 19, so 1, 9. So this can be a really impulsive energy. So you will need to take risks in this lifetime. You will need to take risks to be able to, go towards that bigger vision, share your ideas, all those things. But rather than sort of act on impulsivity, this is really important that, with this life path number, that you work to be strategic in your approach. Take risks, yes. Be impulsive, no. Impulsivity with this life path number can lead to, it's not, I don't want to discourage being impulsive at times. If you feel called to spontaneity, great. But sometimes impulsivity can lead to sort of buyer's remorse with this energy. So just be mindful of that, right? You really do want to work to be more strategic in your approach, have a plan, have a strategy, and then take a calculated risk. Because this is a lifetime of taking risks for sure, with all that 1 energy. And within the strategy, there should always sort of, have the framework of, how can my greater unique vision serve the greater good? So it can be said that when the 19-1 strategizes, they can have a tremendous amount of endurance, right? To kind of see them through to the completion and to achieve those great results and success. This has the potential to be a very successful, have a very successful outcome. But again, it's going to take a lot of regeneration, a lot of new starts, all those things. So you do have to have some kind of strategy to see it through to completion and to achieve and reach that vision. So that's going to be really key for you all. And through the constant regeneration and new starts, although it can feel really burdensome at times, you're actually meant to receive sort of life energy, energizing forces that will help to promote that ongoing growth and assure success. So that's the thing, right? Though the regeneration and the new starts can feel burdensome at times and can feel like a little bit like, can I just get a break? What it's doing is it's allowing for like constant growth and evolution and progressiveness, right? Seeing things from a much bigger perspective, seeing things from a more progressive standpoint where you're not just sort of cloning or doing things the way they've always been done. You're actually really doing things in a more progressive, unconventional, outside the box type of way, which leads to new, better results. And so again, though it can seem frustrating and all those things, it actually is meant to sort of infuse this sort of vitality or life force into you to help you to keep growing and expanding, which can be really, really beautiful. Though I absolutely validate that it can be exhausting and but it's meant to help you, not hinder you. Your job is to figure out how to overcome the obstacles that regeneration brings with it, right? Because constant new starts comes with constant new challenges that you're more than capable of overcoming. But again, ultimately, it's always all about our perspective and how we look at it. It just depends on how we choose to look at it. And again, with great challenges come the opportunities for great wisdom, and with great wisdom comes great responsibility. So, I will say to you 19 ones, this is definitely not a lifetime for playing small. That's not what you signed up for. This is a lifetime for achieving great things that have the potential to help a tremendous amount of people. But you get to decide how you'll use this big, big energy and how you won't, right? And what you'll, where it is that you'll keep yourself stuck or create a self-imposed prison, and where it is that you'll break free from that prison at all costs. So again, you get to decide how you use this energy. And really, ultimately, nothing is truly good or bad. It's all about how that particular thing is used that determines whether it's good or bad. So with that, I will close, but I just want to leave you with, again, your soul signed up for this because your soul knows that you are ready and that you are very capable of achieving success with this life path number. And so again, I say, I acknowledge the difficulties that can come with this energy, but that's certainly not an excuse to stay stuck within the energies. If anything, let it motivate you to push you towards that success. Because again, you have the probability of just being so inspiring, so empowering, so uplifting to so many people in this lifetime. And that within itself is worth it. So I hope this was helpful. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.